Alexa for recording this today. All right, welcome folks. This is the Booze Free Babes Zoom we're gonna talk to you today about how to use the Open Recovery app, how to use Kai for AI coaching, and how we're gonna leverage the Open Recovery app to reframe our relationship with alcohol. So, Alexa, I'm gonna let you kick us off with some questions about the app, and then we're going to do a little bit of integrative work with inside Kai.
Absolutely. Yay, it's so important to get the word out on why we are building our community of Boost Free Babes on the Open Recovery app. So, Ellen, I just want to ask you, what made you choose Open Recovery to build a community on?
Open recovery was an easy choice for a couple of reasons. One, I had already crossed paths with someone on open recovery. So that opened the doorway, and that connection was made through the favor local. No, that connection was made at Recovery Jam. Sorry, I just remembered. Okay, but through Favor Low Country, that connection happened. And then once I heard about the Open Recovery app at Recovery Jam, I reached out to them myself and I was just curious about what they offered and if they would be a great fit for creating an app for booze free babes. And what they gave me instead was a beautiful collaboration for a booze free babes community. And that's what we're building out now.
So awesome. It's that's so exciting, especially for our community. When
Yes.
when somebody downloads the app, kind of what is like their first 5 minutes on the app going to look like? Are they trying to get to know Kai? Are they putting in their goals kind of for what they're looking for?
So this is my best advice if you are wanting to really get the most out of the Open Recovery app. And that would be to not skip that first step of dialing in what it is that you want to achieve. So the app is built for self discovery. It also has a component for cognitive behavioral therapy, a component for smart recovery, and a component for the 12 steps. However, you get to choose your own adventure. So, the information that you input in the very beginning of setting up the app is going to create the pathway of support that you will be led down. So, if you're only focused on self discovery, then that is the wheelhouse that I would play in if I were you. Now, if you are in recovery, fantastic. If you want to do a 12-step approach, there's plenty of space on there for that. If the 12 steps are not your pathway and you're more interested in smart recovery, we have a ton of information built in for smart recovery. So it's a choose your own adventure. You can pick and choose what you like, but that first 5 minutes on the app, diving into the app and answering the questions will create the user experience on the back end.
Absolutely, really making it personalized for everybody's journey, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So is Open Recovery's main audience, who is kind of the main audience that we're going to be serving and on the app?
I'm going to say anybody seeking any type of transformation or self discovery because there are so many tools built into the app. It's not limited to the recovery community. However, we cater heavily towards the recovery community. Anyone that is interested in a little bit of self discovery is an ideal candidate for the app, male or female or transgender.
Right, perfect. What are there certain values as well that this community really has been built on that'll bring further into the community on the app?
The biggest benefit to the app would be the Kai AI built into the app.
Right.
So as Booze Free Babes is growing, I started out as a CPSS. I went through Favor Low Country and got my coaching certification. And at one point, I thought we would just be a huge group of CPSSs to go out there into the world and coach people in recovery. But that's just a very lofty goal and a huge one to fill, right? So how can AI help us reach more people along this path? Right. And so this is where Kai comes into play. Kai AI uses the same type of interviewing style and skill that we were taught in CPSS training. Now, Kai is not intended to replace a CPSS person, live person that you have a check in with and accountability. However, if you are spiraling at midnight and want somebody to talk to and can't get a hold of somebody, Kai is a great resource, especially in
There
those
they
wee
are.
hours.
Definitely. That's the perfect way to put it. I mean, it really just comes at your convenience and when you need it. Yeah, I'm like, this is so exciting. What are you hoping for on the open recovery, maybe to look like in the next 6 months with more engagement from members, more engagement from members outside of the community? What are you thinking?
So here's the deal. We started in Facebook as a small Facebook group. I think we've outgrown that container. I've also outgrown the security of that container. The more that we grow as a community and the more public exposure that we receive, the more that people have joined our Facebook group. And the intentions of those that join, I want to believe that everyone has the best intentions. And sometimes that's just not the case. We've had some, men join the group and want to start hitting on chicks and stuff like that. And we're not here for that, right? So, how can we best protect our membership? And that is to move it into a container that we have a little bit more control over who joins our community, right? And so, Facebook is great. We'll always keep our free Facebook group. It's just that me playing police to the Facebook people is not the best use of my time, right? So in an effort to keep that safe and secure and also to respect people's anonymity, transitioning to the open recovery app and in integrating into the booze free babes community within that app is going to be the safest path forward.
Right. That's the perfect way to put it. Couldn't have been said better. So on the community page, what should we be on the lookout for? There's quotes posted, there's all Booze Free Babes updates posted. What should we be on the lookout for?
So, those of you that are already in the Facebook group, you've probably already noticed that you're not getting as much individual personal response from me, right? And that's because we're focusing all of our energy on the Open Recovery app. Like I've said, and I've always said, we'll keep the free Facebook group running, but that Facebook group is ran by admins. So, if you're looking for that deep engagement with me, you're going to find that on the Open Recovery app. I'm just not going to be able to focus a lot of that attention on the Facebook group like I did in those early days when there was only, 25, 50, or 100 of us.
Right.
Now that there's hundreds of us, right? Like we're so close to hitting 1,000 in our membership. But because there are so many of us, I'm just not as accessible for that one-on-one attention. And so I'm focusing that energy in the open recovery platform. That's probably my best answer, right? If you want
Yeah,
to see, yeah, like what's happening now, like what are we working on now? That's going to be in the open recovery community.
perfect. Yeah, I mean, exactly. And if you have not downloaded the app or joined the community yet, this is the time to do so.
Yes. And we're going to give you step by step instructions on how to do that.
Right. Is there any last message you want to say to your friends about open recovery?
Get on the app. That's all I can say. Download the app, start talking to Kai. Here's what Alexa and I were just talking about this earlier today, as a matter of fact, with Kai. What I'm using Kai for personally is tracking my mood because I want to see what are the triggers that impact me and shift my mood so that way I can be aware. Because what's this all about, right? Improving our lives, improving ourselves, improving our relationship with self, which is where I feel like real self-confidence comes from. And so I want to be more self-aware. And I've already identified a really strong trigger that impacts me by documenting this with Kai. So, do you want to do a quick demo with Kai while I've got you?
Let's do
Let
it.
me do that real quick because I think it's important to understand how to engage with Kai. And I hope that you can hear this okay. Good morning, Kai. I'm just checking in with you today.
Hey, good morning, Ellen. Glad you're here. What's feeling front and center for you right now?
Well, what's most important to me today is getting in front of my sober community and telling them all about the Open Recovery app.
It sounds really powerful. Sharing the app with your sober community could be a huge boost for them and you. What's one key thing you want them to know about it?
I really want them to know how helpful it is leveraging Kai as an AI and also how the interviewing style that you use, reflecting that back to us, is super helpful.
I love that focus. Highlighting how the reflection and the AI support can be a game changer. Maybe you can share a personal example from your own journey to really bring it home for them.
That's a great idea. Okay, I'm going to stop it there just because he'll keep talking, right?
Yep.
Um, so I'll have him on in the background sometimes and not even realize it, and he'll like overhear me while I'm working. And then all of a sudden he'll come on and be like, "Hey, Ellen, it sounds like you're a little stressed right now. Maybe take a break and step away for a
Oh
few
my
minutes." It's
gosh.
so cool.
He knows what you need,
Yeah.
truly. That's so funny.
So that's probably my biggest takeaway is just go ahead and download the app. Check out some of the cool emotional trackers. I mean, that's going to be a way for you just to really build recovery capital if that's your thing, or even just deepen your self-discovery journey. And Kai is here to talk to you through motivational interviewing versus ChatGPT. ChatGPT or any other AI is just going to agree with you.
Right.
Kai is going to reflect back to you, helping you arrive at a solution. Chat gives you the solution. Kai helps you create a solution. There's a difference there. If I give you the solution, you don't learn anything. If you create your own solution, it sticks.
Couldn't
That's
have
it.
said any better. That was absolutely, yeah, that was perfect. Ah,
Okay, Alexa's going to pop this up on social, and hopefully, you guys can have step by step instructions. We'll outline that too. If you have any questions, please reach out to one of us.
yep. Download the app and connect with the community, guys. Talk soon.